There's been many improvements in the software from version 2.5 to version 2.6.
We're really excited about this new 2.6 version that we're releasing now in June 2007.
As you can see here on the screen, we have the list of all the new functionalities that can be activated and deactivated in the simulator.
This is a version where we've put a lot of efforts to incorporate the comments we've got from a lot of faculty using the game in many places in North America.
The financial statements have been restructured that there are accounts that consider more realistic factors such as direct labor expense, manufacturing overhead expense, sales and general administrative expenses.
One of the key aspects that we're most proud of is the financial statement, where now we have a financial statement that are much more realistic.
A large proportion of your costs are fixed costs that you have to bear irrespective of the quantity you're producing.
These are really period costs in the fact that we can't fire our labor force. Therefore, it's even more important that we have production orders available and that we use our maximum production capacity, because we're paying for those facilities whether we produce product or not.
You'll have 20 million euros available. 18 of those 20 million will be invested in land and building and also in machineries.
Early in the game, the participant will post building, land, they will acquire an assembly line that they will have to depreciate in time.
We also automated the posting of all the capitalization and asset creation at the start of the game, so you can decide whether you want the students to do those postings or if you want to automate them.
The product cost planning tool has also been changed so that it considers an estimate of those overhead costs, those direct labor costs, and product cost planning. But be aware that your actual costs depend on how you operate the facility, and those estimates may be higher or low depending on your actual performance.
You will see in the financial statements ratios that hopefully are much more realistic than what we had in the previous versions of the game.
One of the tasks that was the most demanding for the administrator of the game was the closing of the game when everything was done at the end of the last quarter. Starting with version 2.6, we automated the end of game, which will guarantee that all the products are liquidated at a price that corresponds to a liquidation price you'd have on the market.
The game also gets more exciting because we have automated parts of the procurement process and production process.
From a strategy point of view, the game is quite different now. One of the reasons is the capacity constraint. Before, the only constraint that you would have was liquidity. Now you may have a lot of cash, but still you won't be able to produce more than 25,000 boxes a day.
With the production function automated, once an order has been released, which can only happen once all the raw materials are in stock, the simulator will confirm daily production quantities, 25,000 boxes per day. Now you have to consider the setup losses that occur between changing production. Therefore, you need to be aware that there's a limited capacity, so that you have to have production orders available that are released so that the simulator will continue to confirm production. But you also have to make sure that those production orders are not so big that you can never switch into your different products.
You will have a setup time between recipes. So if you want to produce product 1 and then after you want to switch to product 3, there will be a setup time delay before you can do so. Right now, the delay is at 12 hours, which is half a day. It's a lot. You can invest in order to decrease this setup time. It's going to be up to you to decide how much you want to invest in order to be able to produce more and, more importantly, be able to produce much more different recipes in a given quarter.
We also added a module to automate the procurement. This module will also show a lag between the moment the purchase order is made and the moment the goods are received.
Once the raw materials are delivered and the invoice is received, the system will automatically wait for a delay period until it pays its supplier. Thus, on the procurement side, there is some cash flow that you gain from your suppliers in that they deliver before you actually have to pay for those raw materials.
We also added some delays in posting revenues from sales. So whenever a sale is posted, delivery is done automatically on the day of the sale, but it might take a number of days before the actual invoice is paid by the customer.
In the sales order process, there's also a delay between when you actually sell the product and deliver it to the customer and when payment is received. So while on the purchasing side, there's a lag where you borrow cash from your suppliers, on the sales side, your customers have a delay in paying you, so therefore you are floating them cash.
This bringing the game to a level where the students, they really have to manage the triangle between sales, production, and procurement.